Rolling right now. We're rolling.
Yeah, we're 10 seconds
That's
in.
fucking loud. Yeah, I put explicit warnings on there, so you don't have to worry. Right.
Really?
Yeah. Welcome to Be Better Every Day. You know what I just realized? Art hasn't listened to a fucking single thing because he didn't know anything about this podcast.
Have you not listened to any of the podcasts?
I listened to a couple.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Be Better Every Day, the podcast where we talk about self-improvement, mental health, relationships, the ups and downs of becoming the best versions of ourselves.
We're your hosts, Josh and Mac, just two friends on a journey to level up in life, get in shape, and break free from bad habits, one day at a time.
No fake motivation, no perfection, just real talk, real struggles, real growth.
So if you're working on yourself, figuring life out, or just need a little extra motivation, you're in the right place.
All right, let's get into it. We got a guest today. I don't know why he wanted to sign on for being on today, but I guess he wants to celebrate his last day of being 41.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, happy birthday, brother.
Welcome to the podcast, Art.
What's up, fellas?
Nothing much.
Glad to be here. My flight just got in. Got the Uber, and I got here on time. Good to go now. Good to go.
Yeah, we flew in from 3 miles away.
Yep.
You know, we are worldwide, dude. We hold it down. Shout out to our guys in Ukraine.
We're with you. Peace.
Yeah. We know y'all are a big supporter of the show. We appreciate it. So, what made you want to come on the podcast today, dude?
I don't know, man. I was just here. Figured I'd jump on it with you. See what's up.
Well, I know that recently you had to join the same train that me and Mac have been on for a little bit different reasons.
Well, yeah, man.
Stop talking like that, bro. Stop. Talk like yourself, dude. You don't even sound like yourself. Come on, bro.
Oh, let's see. So I had a physical, I don't know, about a month ago, and high cholesterol, had heart issue, pre-diabetic, and fatty liver. So my fitness journey is kind of have to at this point.
Yeah.
Not so much like it was cool before when I used to go to the gym, but now it's like you're trying to live.
It went from a want to a need to.
Oh yeah, definitely need to. So I pretty much cut out sweet tea, fast food. I felt like my body was only at deep 2 weeks.
Yeah, you'll go through that. Like I found out because I'm kind of on a similar train, and I think instead of like going off it completely, I think a healthier thing to do would be like just moderation, or don't if you strictly say I can't ever have this again, it's going to become something that you're going to resent, and you're going to resent the way that you lost the weight and how it happened and why it happened, and then that only leads to like not getting the results you want in the long run.
Well, usually around this time I go through seasonal depression, and I drop about 50, but the doctor didn't think that was funny. So I
I don't think it's the dropping 50 that he's worried about. It's the putting on 75 that comes after it. That's the real problem.
never put on 75 once it's off.
So, how are you feeling mentally about this change that the doctors kind of made you do?
This week, this week and last week's been better. The first couple weeks, I kind of went into hiding.
Well, that might have something to do with that detox you were talking about too, coming off of all that crappy food too.
But at first it was like they told me about it, and I was like, cool, whatever. And then I think as the days went on, I was thinking about the kids getting older, and I wouldn't be able to do things, or
Be here.
yeah, that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. When right before I had my surgery, like February, March, I got into the place where I couldn't walk for longer than 5 minutes without my back locking up. Me and Josh used to walk a mile last fall, and then we got to the point where I couldn't make it halfway around the block. I thought it was to send Josh back to the truck. And now I'm out here 3, 4, 5 miles at a time, no problem. energy levels through the roof. I still have a long way to go, um, but just making that change has just leaps and bounds. I don't have a desire to take a nap in the afternoon anymore. Like my energy, I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm hitting the streets at 5:30, getting a mile and a half, 2 miles in before the sun comes up, and then starting my day with 3,000 steps already in the books.
So what are you? You're like a month in right now, something like that,
Something
5
like that.
weeks. So what's been the hardest so far, mentally, emotionally, or physically?
Physically, probably. Mentally, it's that time of year. But I can kind of see it coming so I can fight it better. But physically, it's more so like you have to do it. You don't want to do it, but you have to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
getting up is always the hardest part. Like, because once you get out, you're fine. It's before. Like,
it's getting colder in these mornings too out here on these walks.
But I think what you'll see is like you might experience less sad this time of year when you're actually doing physical stuff, especially if you go out there and get some walk, because vitamin D is a big contributor to people having seasonal depression disorder. So that would be interesting to see if this year's a little easier for you since you're going to be out there being physical.
yeah, you know what I mean? Before COVID, I was a gym rat. And then once COVID, I can't blame it on COVID, but once it hit and they shut down everything, I just never got back to it.
I mean, it's hard to. That's,
Oh,
the
it takes
easiest part is gaining the weight. The hardest part is getting it back off.
yeah, and it takes whatever they say 7, 14 days to create a habit. It don't take long to lose one. You know what I mean? Like I know that I have to get out and walk because the minute I don't walk, a walk today will be not a walk for the next week and a half, until I force myself to get out there and do it again. And so that's when, we talk about in the intro, no fake motivation. It's got to be real motivation. Like it's, one of those, it's not really one of those fake it till you make it type things.
Well, it kind of is. Science is showing that the motivation doesn't come first. The action has to come first, and then you get motivated. So if you're looking for motivation to go out there and do it, it ain't coming.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's not
so
coming. You can have motivation for a day. You can have motivation for that first week after a doctor tells you you're gonna die. But you got to do the thing.
yeah, you gotta put it into action. I went out and got a personal trainer, and not because I think I need a personal trainer, but it's just been so long since I've been in the gym. Um, I think I've kind of reached. I don't know if I've reached the pinnacle of what, but I'm starting to reach a plateau of like as far as where walking is going to take me. Like now, I'm at a point where it's going to take more than walking to get the rest of the weight off, and not just get the weight off, but I also, as I'm losing the weight, I don't want to be left. I want to be left with as little excess skin as possible. So I need to tone at the same time. And it's been so long since I've been in the gym. I wanted to make sure that I was using the uh, equipment safely and appropriately, and not going in there and just guessing which weights I want to start at, and getting myself a nice baseline um, to go. And I use the YMCA. They were running a special where you get 3 sessions with a trainer for $99, and I probably won't keep it up after. Maybe I'll see him once a month after, maybe something like that, just to um, because I do enjoy like having someone show me, okay, you're doing this well, you're doing this well. Let's try adding this now, And so maybe once a month, but just having the tools and stuff like that has been great for me. I didn't think I was gonna like lifting weights, but now I'm excited to get into the gym a couple times a week to get in there and do it.
And you got to have some good accountability partners. Like my boy Richie, he literally told me when this first happened, he was like, dude, I'll call you. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about kids, whatever. But if you start giving me excuses, I'm just
I was about to ask you, how can your friends and family help support you?
I mean, you got to be,
Because I think we're all kind of bugging you a little bit right now.
but no, man, I told him, I was like, you got to be stern. Like, you can be stern and not be rude. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But like, But at the same time, if it's somebody you trust, somebody you love, like whatever they're saying is what they have. Like they have your best interest at heart, so you can't take it to heart. Like they're trying to help you, and not so much being mean. They're just being like, dude, do you want to be here when you're 50? Then do what you got to do. Or he always tells me, lock in, bro.
I think, like you mentioned before, having the kids is a huge motivation because your two kids are getting older. We have daughters about the same age, and like I don't want to not be there and walk her down the aisle when she gets married. I don't want to not be able to play with my grandkids one day or not be here to even be present for that activity. You know, Um, but so I mean, just having like you said, just having the kids wanting to be, I think that shows that you do care, wanting to be present and being able to participate in those things.
So, walk us through what it felt like when the doctor gave you that little bit of a wake up call.
Oh, the day of, it was just like whatever. Like,
It didn't set in, did it?
no, I didn't really think about it. I started Googling stuff, but of course, Google didn't tell me too much. Didn't tell me anything really bad, but like it's almost like, this stuff isn't going to go away on its own. So it's not like I can just wait around and not be pre-diabetic in 4 months. I gotta make it happen.
Not wait 4 months, might be diabetic.
Yeah, so I gotta do it myself. The smoking thing, though, that's gonna be hard. But I know once I go to the cardiologist, that's the first thing they're gonna do.
Yeah. So you might as well stop now.
I hear you.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was just thinking yesterday, my dad called me and his car is broken down, but he wanted me to bring him some cigarettes and a newspaper and some ramen noodles, and I'm like, dude, ramen noodles is the last thing you need. You are diabetic, like you do not need all those carbs. But he's 70 and he's gonna live his life. And I went to the store and bought the cigarettes for him or whatever. I haven't bought cigarettes in a year. I mean, and anybody knows anything about me knows that I love smoking cigarettes, love it. But I know that I can't. And the minute I do smoke a cigarette, I'll have a pack of cigarettes in my pocket tomorrow. I promise you, I will. So I mean, I've been on the vape thing for, I don't know if that's any healthier. There's no long-term studies on it yet. Uh, my breathing's better. My ability for aerobic activities better.
I mean, but you're also 115 pounds lighter.
Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah, I am down 115. You know, let's throw Josh on the scale for a second. Josh broke 300 yesterday.
Yeah.
It's
They're
been
not
coming for a
celebrating
while.
with pizza.
That's fine, dude. You deserve the pizza.
Yeah, I earned that pizza, dude. It was a good.
You've been tracking it down for a while, and we kind of joked around that I would probably get there before you, and
I cannot believe it. Like, because when we went to Tijuana, like when all this stuff like really started changing, uh, like I thought for sure that you would be less than me before my birthday. That was
yeah,
the thing. And then my birthday hit, and I was like staying a little bit in front of you. But since my birthday and starting that walk,
yeah,
everything's changed so much. And I haven't been under 300 pounds in like 20 years almost.
yeah,
Since Nate's been born and before my first back surgery.
yeah,
So it's a weird thing. It was weird. I checked myself on 2 different scales yesterday.
yeah.
Double verified under 300.
And
So
something that Josh got me into was like, because I got into a point where I really wasn't holding myself accountable for what I was eating, and I was doing the exercise and stuff like that. Um, a lot of people that have bariatric surgery have a lot of complications. Um, thank God I'm not one of those people. I didn't have a lot of complications. I've only gotten sick a couple times. Um, but because I was able to eat certain foods that I shouldn't eat, I gave myself a free pass to eat certain foods I shouldn't eat. And so I just had to buckle back down, and Josh got me on an app. Um,
I'm trying to get Art on it too. Trying to get Art on all the apps.
No, man,
We're trying to get you tracking food. We're trying to get you on our walking app so we can see when you walk.
Yeah.
Well, my sister, shout out to her. She when I called her that day, I think I called her after the doctor's. Actually, I called her after the doctor's appointment. And I called her when I got the blood work done. I mean, within minutes, she was like, "Fitbit coming to your apartment on Friday."
I know before I could even say anything about are you getting a Fitbit or anything, you were like, oh, she already ordered me
Yeah,
one. And
so
I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
I think as soon as I told her fatty liver, she was like, "I got a Fitbit coming, so it's gonna be there on Friday."
Yeah. And
Yeah.
use it right.
Monitor. At some points in the day, my heart it only beats like 40 times a minute, which
He's an Olympic athlete.
sounds definitely slow to me.
It is.
And so, I mean, because it's almost like,
Mine's at 64 right now.
it's almost like everything he named, like somebody in my family has passed away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Young. So
Yeah.
you tell me all this stuff, and I'm sure we all know, like, I always talk all the time, like, when we were younger, death had like a hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, you can go at any moment, any day.
Because the crazy part was, it was always that.
Oh, yeah, but
It was always that, but we just didn't know it.
But now we're older.
Living that Superman dream.
Yeah, but now we're older, and I'm like, this dude just named off 4 different things that I know have killed 4 different people in my family.
And let's be honest, like heart disease in the black community is very
Yeah, you're
serious.
a lot higher risk just in stuff in general too.
So, I mean, because one of my cousins, Orlando, he when he passed away, I mean, you remember, dude was skinny, lanky, and had a massive heart attack brushing his teeth.
Yeah, I had a guy that I looked up to when I was growing up, and he was in his 40s and like ran marathons and stuff like that. Was the epitome of good health. He was up at Wintergreen skiing, and they spent all day skiing, and literally walked into the lodge to have dinner and dropped dead at the at the host stand.
When I worked at UCrops, our manager Wayne, he had dropped like 100 and some pounds and was like doing this like diet from the hospital and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had just hit like 100 pounds, over 100 and some pounds, and was just in his office at night and just boom, heart attack, massive heart attack, died right there. So it's always coming for us, guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said, you just never know in general. So you got health things loaded on top of you, so it's like, oh, I gotta get this straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw. Have you? I saw a monk talk about when you're healthy, you have 100 problems, but once you find out you're sick, you only got one problem.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that hits. So, what surprised you the most about getting started again that no one told you about yet?
On what?
Like getting into it again, like getting back healthy.
Oh.
Because I mean, and we can all be honest at this table. We all been unhealthy for a long time.
Long time.
Just the eating portion, because you got to think, like, even when I was working out, I mean, let's see, 5 years ago, maybe 6, I had gotten down to 299. But that was just me going to the gym every day. I didn't change one eating habit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, calories out versus calories in is always going to work in your favor.
I mean, you don't have the greatest eating habit.
That's what I'm saying. So now it's like you got to do both. So the eating habits were the first thing, and I was like, man, everything in my apartment was just like, no.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Little Debbie whore, and I love a Little Debbie snack cake.
I eat a whole box, bro.
And I used to too.
You ever put the Hostess cakes in the freezer? Change your life.
No, but I have had a.
Big Deborah.
Big Deborah. I have had a zebra cake sandwich, which is where you put the zebra cakes between the peanut butter bars.
I got to go to Food Line real quick.
Yeah, and now they got the Christmas tree ones. They're out already. But I bought a box the other day. I bought a box of the Christmas peanut butter wafer things and the Christmas tree cakes. Haven't had one of them. Standing there right over top of them every day. It does not faze me one bit. I think I've gotten to the point where, and you're going to get there, where your goals are just more important than your wants, you know. And I've had a lot of success, like um, by finding foods that are healthy that taste good, it's like I'm just as full as I was when I was eating crap, except I'm having high protein. I'm having, I'm finding things that like, okay, maybe I can't have, little Debbie cakes, but I can make a bag of pepperonis, take them with me in the truck, or and snack on those, or maybe I can't have a soda, but every once in a while I can have a diet soda, a sugar-free soda. I still have energy drinks. I still drink my protein shake. You gotta find what works for you.
I'm gonna let you know that energy drinks are gonna ruin your teeth.
Well, I think
That's where these came
that ship has sailed. We're working on that though.
Have you had any small victories yet
Oh man,
that you're proud of in the past month since you started?
so I did lose 5 pounds,
There we go.
and then the eating healthy aspect part of it hadn't been super hard because the kids eat healthy.
Hmm.
So if I'm gonna eat with them, I gotta make healthy choices. So that's been just learning how to cook more stuff.
Dude, my kids love just instead of getting breaded chicken tenders, I just get the boneless, skinless breast cut into tender strips already. Put a little salt, pepper, garlic on them, throw in the air fryer for 10 minutes, and
Skinless thighs.
I'm with you. I'm definitely a thigh man. But the kids like the breast meat or whatever, and so we just do chicken strips, and they can still put Chick-fil-A sauce on them or whatever, but it's definitely a way healthier option.
You had any or just one mindset shift yet that's helped you?
Uh, it's funny, I don't know, within the last year, so I guess that's like the one thing I say to everybody. Like everything is a mindset. Everything is. I mean, if you can tell yourself you can do something, you can. I mean, you can do it. So mindset wise for me is just like I want to be here. I want to be able to walk up and down steps without breathing hard. I want to be able to chase little man around because his energy level is that high. Like, cause I don't do it so much now, but like sometimes you kind of don't do things with your kids not because they're you know an inconvenience, but you just don't have the energy.
Hmm.
But your lack of energy comes off to them like, oh well,
You don't care what they're interested
yeah,
in.
I'm just being an inconvenience. You don't want to do anything with it. The sad truth is I can't do it.
You just don't have it in you.
And so like I want to make sure I don't get there.
That's not a good place to be. It sucks. I've been there. If you could talk to someone that's been in the same position you were a month ago when you talked to the doctor, what would you tell?
What would I tell them? What?
If you could talk to someone that's in your same position you
They
were a
just
month
saw
ago,
their doctor and they got high cholesterol,
Oh, okay.
pre-diabetic. What would you tell that person?
So the man to lock in. You about to die.
tell them lock in.
Not like I think I would tell somebody the shock after a couple of days is what got me. The more and more I thought about all the things he told me. So it just like it would hit like day by day. So I think like if I tell somebody anything, take it a day at a time. Don't let it freak you out. This is all pre stuff. This is all stuff. Like, you're lucky now. Because if I didn't find this until 4 years from now, I might be in a different position.
Or next year.
Yeah, I might be in a position where like you got to do this now. But now that I know about it, it's almost like take it a day at a time. Don't stress out. Don't panic. It's all good.
Uh, so does it help having all these people on your ass
Oh yeah,
this
man. I
past
can't.
month?
I can't call nobody. I call my mom. What did the doctor say? Like, good evening. So I mean, it's been cool because like nobody's really been on my ass like bad. It's just been like people. They're just being honest with people. So they call, hey man, you've been doing this. You've been doing that.
You've been walking?
Yeah, I've been walking.
You've been doing your mile? Did you do your mile today?
I haven't done my mile yet today, but it's been more so because I think even then, like when people start actually calling you and asking you stuff, you kind of feel like I do got people on my back. I do got people behind me. I do got people that You know, they want to see me, like, because everybody sees your potential. You don't see your potential.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's a mindset thing, too. Like, if you can start believing what people tell you, because nobody's really, I mean, if somebody tells you, like you, man, you could talk, I mean, you could talk to anybody. You're just a confident dude. So, like, but you might not think you're confident, but, like, if you start listening to the people around you, like, wow, so many people are telling me I'm this way, that I need to start believing that about myself, too.
Yeah.
And I think the more and more we do that with anything, your mindset just goes from that negative, you know, oh, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. And I tell you all the time, living in an apartment, if I put my finances on paper, I shouldn't be able to eat. But every month, everything is paid. So I don't ask questions because I mean, I think you know you worry about it so much. I mean, I told somebody the other day, I was like, you know, if we can make a percentage of everything we worried about up until this point, I could probably say 90% of it never got close either.
That's funny you say 90% because science has said that 90% of the things we worry about never come to pass. So it's funny you say
And it's
90%.
true because like you just worry about these things. I think some things we worry about do end up happening because like we kind of manifest it. So like if you're like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to get this done, you don't do it.
Yeah, well, there is that too. There's confirmation bias. If you think negative all the time, you'll find the negative, and it's kind of vice versa. If you start thinking more positive, you'll find more positive things.
So I think now that like I said, usually around this time I get that good old seasonal depression, but like I can see the traits because even like the craziest part for me about depression is like everything could be going great. Kids are healthy, kids are great, school is great, you got a job, your car is fantastic, but for some reason you are just at the bottom. And then it's almost like you fight that because you're like, oh, why am I even depressed? Like then you start fighting yourself, like, you know, I shouldn't even be doing this. So here, like the last year or so, instead of a lot of times I used to remember stuff would happen and I would say something like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And something would always happen next.
Mm-hmm.
So now when something happens, I'm like, no, not today, devil. And I just keep on moving. Like this is a simple example, but it's the last thing that happened to me yesterday. I had bought like an almond joy. I shouldn't have bought candy anyway. And I was opening it over the trash can to throw the trash away. Well, one of the almond joys fell in the trash can. And usually I'd be like, man, I wasted my money on this thing. But I was like, you know what?
No, but you went down and picked it up and ate it.
No.
No.
That thing fell in the trash can.
5 second rule.
But I laughed at myself because like I ate the other one and I was like, at least I got one. I just kept on moving.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a simple example, but like that was the thought process. Like, I got one.
You only needed half a serving. That's what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Or you only needed one serving, not two.
And,
You know it's two servings.
And I always look at other things too, like, you know, you can go outside right now and find $200 in the street. You're like, oh man, $200. And then something will happen that cost you $200. Before you'd be like, man, this sucks. But now it's like, I'm glad I found that $200 because like I didn't see this coming.
I think that's called God.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. God does things. Like I said, that the whole thing with my finances and stuff. Like God does things that we don't see, and things that don't really make sense. I mean, they make sense, but it's like when these moments happen, I gotta be like, you know, that's God. Like, thank you, man. Like, because I mean, I've been in this place for like 4 years, and whenever something pops up, like it's handled, it's taken care of,
Yeah.
and or there's a way that's made for me to get it done.
Yeah.
And so I mean, sometimes you just take a step back and look. If you just take a step back and look, you're like, you know, that was God at the door. You know, I've got people in my life that necessarily don't even have to be in my life, but they are, and they show it, and you know, they care. And so like that was kind of a struggle too. Like you kind of get to this point where, because the going joke for me growing up was always, oh, it was everybody. I could go to a whole different state and run into somebody I know.
Mm-hmm.
And then when stuff like when depression and anxiety hit, I mean, I would say last year, dude, from August to almost Christmas, I couldn't function. I was going like, I go from Kroger to Kroger for work, and I was just going into the stores and sitting in the cafe area and just putting my head down. I couldn't even think straight. Then my brother set me up with this called the Dare app, where this British fella talks you through anxiety. And so I was listening to that while I was driving. And then when I got to work, I would listen to church podcasts about anxiety. Then I was like, when I got home, if I didn't have the kids, I was in the dark watching YouTube videos about anxiety. I went through it. I didn't think I was gonna make it. And then one day, man, I was at a friend's house, like a hobo. I was on the couch for like 4 days, and she didn't care. She made sure I ate. She made sure she wanted to go out. I went out with her, whatever. And then one day I was just like, man, it's almost Christmas. I'm like, I get up. And I just got up and I told myself, like, I know I'll get depressed and anxious again, whatever, but I'll never get back to what that was last year. But the thing with the friend thing, like, when you go through stuff, I expected so many people to just bombard me with like, 'cause I know all these people, but I didn't have. Maybe it was like four, y'all. I had to get to the point where if I do only have 4 to 6 people that actually love me and they care about me, then
Yeah.
I don't need 100 people.
You don't.
You don't.
Would you rather have would you rather have 100 shitty relationships or like 4 good ones? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's what I'm saying. Like, but to get to that point is so many levels of emotions that you got to let go of who you once were,
Oh,
and then you got to, and then like I'm 40, 41, trying to figure out who I am.
Well, it's funny because like
42.
Well, I'll be 42 tomorrow.
Mhm.
in 42, if you really look back, you've had a lot of deaths. Like you look at like I look at like who I used to be. That person's dead. Dude, I'm a different person than that person was, and where that person was going. And that's something that both my back surgeries really made me face was like, oh, that person is dead. You got to become a new person now, and it's kind of hard to face those things sometimes.
And I think like too being because I mean y'all know me since middle school.
No, this is the first time I ever met you.
Yeah. So
You just got off the plane.
yeah. So I was always the quiet dude. I was always. I think my brother would label me the safe friend. That was always me.
Mhm.
And I think in being that quiet person, I became a father. Like at work, I was a manager. I was great. But in real life, I was just like never make my own mind up, do whatever everybody else is doing. Then I got to a point where it was just like I was just me, and no idea what to do with myself. So I recommended that I started buying Funko Pops.
Hey, there's worse addictions than Funko.
Yeah.
But
At least there's a market for Funko Pops.
Yeah.
but then
There's no retail market on heroin.
Drugs and alcohol.
There's no retail market on heroin.
You know what I'm saying?
but like people always like, depending on who you talk to, people always say, "Oh man, finding yourself is so hard. Finding yourself is a struggle." Finding myself is probably the funnest, like probably the best thing that's happened to me because when when I when I had the kids, I got divorced. And, but I was always anxious. I was always nervous. I just felt like because for a long time I felt like I had to be perfect. I had to be perfect at work. I had to be a perfect friend. I had to be a perfect brother. I just had to be 125% perfect. And when that's your mindset, that is like I think I was literally killing me because I felt like I couldn't fail. No, but like, y'all can fail, but I can't fail at all. So when I had the kids, man, I didn't know what are we gonna do. They're gonna think I'm horrible. That's when I found out there's so much free stuff to do. Man, me and the kids are doing everything, but in doing that with them, I was finding out like what I like. I was finding out like this is cool. I mean, of course now they're older and they got doing their own thing. in finding myself, I had to deal with my stuff. And that I will say is probably during with depression and anxiety, that was probably to sit back and look at yourself and only look at like your flaws. Because like we can't control anyone else's, but we can control our own. So like looking back and seeing what you did or how you could have done something different. Or like, this is the type of person.
It's easy to look at what the other person did to you or how you felt about the situation, but when you go back and look at like, oh shit, I might have done this and
Man,
made this person feel
when
like that.
when I looked inward, 'cause I mean, for a year, it felt like every day was Groundhog's Day. And every day I would get up, I'd wake up anxious, I'd get dressed, I'd go to work, and it would take me the whole day to calm down. Just to go to sleep and wake up and feel exactly. And it was like, I mean, every day. I mean, I lost 60 pounds. I passed out at work, get my tonsils taken out, had a heart issue then, and it was just like a whole bunch of stuff. Like I tell people, I'm like, stress will kill you. I mean, I lost 60 pounds for no reason. And like that's the only reason the doctor got worried because he was like, "What are you doing to lose weight?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I just wasn't eating. I was depressed." And
I think not that that's a healthy option, but
no, I mean, I didn't say it
it
was.
would have been way more unhealthy to eat everything.
But in looking, I mean, I went through like an apology after I looked inward. I went through like an apology phase. I was apologizing. Man, remember 10 years ago when we went such I shouldn't have said that. And they'd be like, "What are you talking about? Like, you don't remember that?" I do, and I want to apologize for it. And I was like, because we had just like me and my ex just separated, divorced. I mean, and it was amicable. I mean, no fighting, nothing. I mean, even to this day, we co-parent well, and I'm not trying to say co-parenting is easy, but we're open and honest. There's no there's no hard feelings. So when we speak to each other, I know it's coming from a good place.
Yeah.
So that if she calls me out about something, she's only calling me out because she wants me to make sure that I know it's something I'm doing, and if it's affecting the kids or whatever, like this is what I'm telling you. All right, cool, and I'll fix it from there. So there's been a whole lot of things that we've spoken about, me personally wise, and I'm so glad that we're able to do it because I mean I'm able to fix it on like not like 3 months from now. It's just like, hey, something was said. All right, cool. Let me work on that. And so in doing all of this and learning stuff and looking inward, I've gone from the quiet guy to the dude that talks too much. So much so that people are like, you're a know-it-all. I was like, I'm not a know-it-all, man. I just been through it, and I thought maybe I could help you. So, but I mean, if I can tell, I mean, I know it's hard and it's easier said than done. But if you can look at your own stuff and deal with your stuff, man, it makes everything not easy, but it's a little easier to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to go into the dark places and look at your own shit. It's hard, but it's worth it.
Because I was just in there. Oh, when I had my tonsils taken out, bro, like, because I passed out at work, and then I went, and then my ex mother-in-law, because I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like even like our parents still love each other. So I mean, I have no complaints about that whole that situation because like everybody's still like the love is still there. Our parents still love each other. They come over to birthday parties, whatever. So my ex mother-in-law came to the house and was like, "I heard you passed out at work. What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna go inside." She was like, "Do what?" And I was like, "I'll lay on the couch." And she was like, "Get in the car, go to urgent care."
Mm-hmm.
She takes to the urgent care, and that dude's like, "Man, your tonsils are huge." So then I go to the ENT, and she's like, "They got to come out." And I was like, "Okay, cool." But apparently, it's 10 times worse as an adult to get your tonsils taken out. So that lady was like, "You can't do anything for 15 days. You can't." It was August. You can't go outside because the back of your mouth is an open wound. So if your blood pressure rises at all, you're just gonna bleed.
Ugh.
So she was like, "You can't go outside. If you do, it's just to the mailbox. You can't lift your kid up." I was like, for how long? She's like, I couldn't eat. I ate cream of wheat for like, I don't know how many days. But for 15 days, I was just in the house playing Zelda in my thoughts. And I think it was in those 15 days, like I finally, I was like, man, I gotta deal with this stuff. I think your sister, I can't remember what she called it, but every day I had to write like in a journal, like what I want to do, where I want to be. Like, I think it was like things I want to do. And sometimes every day you had to write it as if you already did. So the more and more you wrote it, the more and more you read it, you would just do. So I can't remember what she called it. Like, and
Liddy, leave it in the comments.
then when I got the apartment and I was really by myself, like one thing people would always tell me, like you gotta be comfortable with yourself. I hated being there. I hated being alone. But I blow Josh up. What you doing, man? What you, I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna come over. What are you doing? Like every day I was calling when Preston lived right next door. Preston, what are you doing, man? I just couldn't be alone.
Yeah.
I hated it. But I would say within the last year, I finally got to a place where like I'm cool being in my apartment. Like, it's my space. I move stuff around. And so, yeah, it was more so getting comfortable with yourself. Couldn't get comfortable being by myself. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, because it's like one of those things where if you really don't love yourself, it's hard to be with just yourself, you know? And you got to learn how to love yourself.
And so now it's just like I had even gotten so uh, focused on dating that I almost hate dating now because like I just focused on. I felt like I gotta be with somebody. I gotta go on dates. Somebody needs to. And then I got to the point where I felt like I had healed a bunch of stuff. So somebody come get all this healing.
Yeah.
Somebody. And then I had focused on it so much, it made me depressed.
Ladies, if you like what you see, uh, you can email.
Yeah.
Like,
Find out that.
Be Better Everyday Podcast.
If anybody is listening, dating apps are the most discouraging thing that has ever been invented. Because there's so many AI bots, there's so many fake profiles. Like you just don't meet people.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Oh, the guy next door to me is always looking for love on Facebook, but it's like he's only he's making them posts, so it's only being seen by people that are already friends with him, and not random people.
Yeah, my mom, she's old school. She comes, oh, baby, you'll meet them when you least expect it. They'll just pop up. I'm like, well, I've been waiting. They need to pop up. But now it's like, honestly, I'm cool with just being dad and like my daughter's older and she only got a couple of years of high school left, so focus on that and just focus on because I don't want to get too deep in a fatherhood discussion, but
Oh, we love a good fatherhood.
We're all dads, and we're all trying to.
But I'll say this, and he probably won't listen, but y'all know, like if my brother and I were taught anything growing up, it was how to not be a good.
Oh, I say all the time that that's the greatest gift he ever gave me, was showing me exactly the dad I don't want to be.
And so, but for a little while, I was a little pushy because I've always been a people pleaser, and I've kind of broken that habit too, where I had to like teach myself to give people a moment because I want to fix everything. So like if I say something to Mac and Mac's like, and I know it hurt his feelings, like I'm following Mac until he tells me what I did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, dude, like what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? And that makes it worse. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
So
such a needy bitch, Art.
so learning that has actually been pretty good because like it's funny to do it now and look back and be like, I could have had so much more easier conversations if I just gave that person 10 minutes. Because sometimes you say things and they might have misheard what you said. But you know, you give them some time, they come back and they're like, "Did you really mean it the way you said it?" And then you can explain. But if I'm following you, I'm on your back.
Yeah.
It just makes it worse. I mean, and that's like with anything, relationships, friendships, with your kids. But so yeah, so I mean, as far as, you know, with dating, I'm like, you know, I just be dad for a minute. You know, if dating comes up, it comes up. But I mean, dating apps are definitely discouraging. You swipe on like 100 people and match with nobody.
Well, yeah, I guess it's a good time for you to take a little break.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good to take a break and focus on you
Yeah.
instead of focus. I know we're not getting any younger and nobody wants to be alone. But you can't give 100% to a relationship if you're not at 100%.
Can't
You
pour
know.
from an empty cup.
No, that's what I was telling somebody the other day. You know, we're talking about relationships being 50-50, and
Never.
no. So I
Never.
feel like as kids and teenagers, like that was pushed on us so much. Like everything is 50-50. Everything is 50-50. And it's fun.
Sometimes it's not even 90-10.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Sometimes
fun.
it's not 99
But
1.
but then like, you know, after, because I mean, this was, I mean, 15 years ago. I was depressed. Didn't even know I was depressed. Everybody around me is telling me, dude, something's wrong with you. Like, no, man, I'm straight. I'm getting mad at people telling me that something's wrong with me. I'm like, I don't know what any of y'all talking about. Until one day, I wanted to shoot myself. And I was home by myself. And I literally sat in my house and thought about a place where I could go and shoot myself. And it wouldn't be hard for them to clean it up. And
Or
so,
find you.
Yeah.
The kids find you.
and so
Like
that's,
Yeah.
and at the time,
real thoughts.
we were going to Cornerstone. So when that happened, I was honest, I said it. And she called Kevin, and Kevin called me. I met Kevin for dinner. Me and Kevin talked about what was going on, and he was like, "Look, man," he's like, "I'm putting you on some antidepressants." And I was like, "I don't want to do that." He was like, "All right."
He was also a doctor, guys.
Yeah.
He's a doctor. So, and so I got on antidepressants. I mean,
A couple of Wellbutrin
like,
later on the house.
and
You might need these.
and I tell people, I mean, nobody wants to be on meds, but I will say, I mean, had I not gotten on it, I mean, my mind would have been straight. And it slows your mind. It does what it's supposed to do. Of course, sometimes it's hard. You got to find the right meds. You got to find the right doses. But once you
Yeah.
do, you know,
Oh, I was listening to a podcast that we recorded right after we went to that men's panel,
Yeah.
and we were talking about like this is and now I'm still going strong on medication compliant, and I have to be um, because of the vitamins and stuff I have to take daily, but I just throw my Wellbutrin and my blood pressure medicine in there with it, and this is the most medication compliant I've ever been in my life, and you know it's the happiest I've been.
yeah. But
You know,
I mean, I've been on depression, anxiety for a while until last year. And now I've been off of it.
yeah, I think there's eventually going to come a day when I come off my blood pressure medication, come off my, my PTSD is a little bit different situation. Um, but maybe I'll come off one day. I don't know. But until then, I, it's maybe better.
well, that's why I tell people now. Like, I mean, they make meds now that are literally just to knock the edge off to get your mind straight. Because
That's called marijuana.
yeah, but so many people.
That's maybe a better parent.
But no, I'm saying, but so many people. There are SSRIs that if you come off cold turkey, it'll make you feel like you got vertigo for days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, SSRIs will lower your libido. It'll do SSRI blockers.
But like I was saying with the percentages though, like when I went through my depression, that's when I kind of learned like when you're depressed, you don't want to get up. So you can't play that 50-50 because like now I need you now it might be 60-40. Or and it could be completely opposite.
And yeah, yeah.
But
There's days that I'm 90-10, and there's days that my wife is 90-10.
But I think you got to be like not grown enough, but it's kind of like a selfish thing. Like you got to notice, okay, my wife or my girlfriend she's down today.
She's struggling, yeah.
Like, instead of getting on her back, like, you've been here all day. What have you been doing? I have to see that she's down. Hey, what can I do for you? You know, I'll do that. You just go ahead and chill.
Yeah.
And I think, but I feel like growing up, it was always like everything had to be 50-50. It's not in all. You just gotta,
Not possible.
no. You gotta know when sometimes it is 50-50. Sometimes you both having a grand time.
Yeah.
But sometimes
It's called vacations.
Yeah.
Sometimes those are.
But like last year, like I was with, if I had been with anybody when all my stuff was going on last year, I couldn't have been any good to anybody. Now I was putting in I had enough energy when I had the kids to do what I needed to do. But when I didn't have them, I was in my apartment in the dark watching anxiety videos on YouTube.
But I mean, we got you through the dark time.
And I think it got you to this point, which is better.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm a much better.
You're better for it.
Like the 25, the 20s artist is long gone. Like that dude had issues.
I know. I like to say that I couldn't get along with myself. If I like had to hang out with myself in my early 20s, like before my first back surgery, I'd want to beat that dude's ass.
Because I mean, I look back and I tell you, I'm like, I was like a douchebag. I mean, I wasn't horrible, but I wasn't great.
Yeah.
And I drank a lot, and I partied a lot.
Yeah.
I missed out on a lot. Like I mean, like even with my oldest kid, I like work. Because it's funny between the two. Like, because I was a manager, I thought work was top priority. Like I'm the manager. I got to be on it. If they need somebody, I got to be there. And and I missed a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I was a meat cutter, and then when little man was born, again, I was missing a lot, and I ended up getting this new job where the work schedule's flexible. Like, I mean, I'm off most days early enough. I don't miss anything. I don't have to miss anything.
Yeah.
Because it's always this meme when it says nobody knows that you work late except for the kids.
Yep. Oh, well, like when you were saying you were a meat cutter, there was days when you had to open, days when you had to close, and stuff like that. And now you have a little more schedule predictability and stuff like that healthy work-life balance,
I figure like the older you get, the more you just realize how unimportant certain things. I mean, work is important.
Oh,
you got to get paid, but it's not more important.
Yeah. Well, think about who's gonna if you're if you're if you're on your deathbed or whatever, who's gonna be there with you? Is it gonna be your buddies from work or the guys that I play darts with, or is it gonna be my wife and kids and a few very close friends, and that's it? And that's who you have to prioritize is those people. Everyone else, I'm not saying you have to have a miserable time with them or ignore them completely. That's not it at all. But, make sure that you're putting your time, if you're going to, invest your time and effort into something, invest it into something that's going to be worth it, relationships that are going to be worth it in the long run.
Most people call them boundaries. I just like to call them need to know. Because if you don't need to know, you don't know.
Yeah. All right, I got a few more questions, and then we can wrap up because we're coming up on an hour. So, what do you want the future you to remember about this starting point that you're at right now?
Future me, I always want to remember where I came from, because it's always good because you look at a situation like, I mean, it could be a bad situation, but this is where I was last year, and I think my biggest thing is always like everything's got to be about growth, because you don't want to be stagnant.
Yeah, you got to have a growth mindset.
And I mean, and growth doesn't have to be like huge every day, but it's just like I told somebody the other day, I was like, every day when I wake up and I put my feet on the floor, I'm doing something I never thought I could do by myself. I never thought I mean, when I quit Publix, that's the first job I've ever given a 2 weeks notice. And
That's because you worked for the people that bought them for the last 86 years.
that's what I'm saying.
Your employee number was a single digit.
since high school, I've never quit a job. I've been in the same job.
Yeah.
So when this job came out, dude, God remembers I was sick.
I remember you didn't want to take it.
Dude,
I didn't know.
I was sick for days. I was so anxious, and then I did it. And it's, I mean, every job has its perks. Every job has its
Oh,
flaws, but
when I lost my job last year, you want to talk about depression? We talk about, my goal is to get 10,000 steps a day or whatever. Dude, there were days I wasn't cracking 4 digits, like under 1,000 steps, and you're like, I can get 1,000 steps just going to the bathroom during the day. You know what I mean? Like, dude, what were you doing? And but looking back now, losing that job was the best thing that ever happened to me.
because switching jobs was, and it was just because like I growing up, anybody knows me. I mean, everybody hates change, but change for me was always debilitating.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a new job, not even losing money,
Yeah.
better hours, and I was still like, oh, I was just like I was self sabotaging. That's what I've done a lot.
Oh, me too. I'm a
I,
huge
I, I was self sabotaging with my go to. I got the new job. I was like, I'm gonna suck at it. I'm gonna fail. I'm not gonna do it. I come over here. I mean, like anxiety was so bad, I was dizzy.
Yeah.
And then I finally started working, and I was like, all right. So that kind of let me know, like, I am able to change. I am able to switch jobs. I am able to do this or do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always a growth mindset. I want to grow, as a dad. I want to grow mostly as a dad, and everything else kind of has to be secondary for me. Like I want to be. I'm not old with that. I want to be like the biggest thing every day because the best, especially when it comes to kids, it's about consistency and showing up.
Exactly.
You always got to show up.
For yourself,
And
and then it trickles down.
yeah,
Yeah.
so whatever I can show up at, I'm gonna be there. And like I said, growing with who I had growing up, I mean, I know what not to do.
What's something, since we're about to wrap up, what's something you think anyone and everyone can do or should do to be better every day?
If anybody hasn't or has seen it, I want you to watch Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon and look in the mirror and pretend you're show enough.
Show enough.
Show enough. Who's the baddest in the land? Show enough. But put your name there.
Hey, I mean, you can even just call yourself Show enough.
Yeah, because telling yourself, I would say my kid's mother probably did one of the coolest things back in the day. She put like inspirational quotes on uh post-it notes, like whatever you were going through or whatever you needed to bring you up, and she would just put them on the door, on the window, on every she put them somewhere where you had to, yeah. So she'd put it somewhere where you always had to go, like the bathroom, the kitchen, and you just post-it notes. And man, I took them for granted back then, but looking back now, it's like if you were to do that for yourself and you actually believed what you wrote, by the time you got out the house, like these things would be in your mind.
Yep.
Like you could wake up negative, but then as you're going through your emotions and you're reading these things, if you actually believe what you're reading, by the time you got in the door, it's a whole new day.
Yeah.
What kind of legacy do you hope you're going to leave from this point moving forward?
Well, I hope as parents, I hope we can, teach our kids how to live the right way, teach them how to be good people, teach them, how to be good Christians. Because I would say like I'm getting better when it comes to that aspect, but the kids, to be honest, the kids are better than me.
But your daughter's a leader at church.
I mean, my 8-year-old.
Yeah, her shirt says so.
It does say so.
I mean, my 8-year-old said something to me the other day from the Bible that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, well, your daughter's great in the youth church.
So the church I got, and it's good to see. I mean, it's good to see because the Bridge is a great church. They got a great pastor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cool to see. Because when we were kids going to youth group, we didn't listen to youth group. We didn't take anything in.
Our youth group was wild though.
So it's so cool. Like when
Dude, I went to a church camp one time, and they had all these classes about you know Bible studies. Dude, I took 2 classes of swing dancing and a class of ultimate frisbee. Like
Our church had one lock-in, and we were not allowed to
we didn't have it
anymore.
But it's so cool. Like so, I talk to the kids and they're talking about the Bible and they're telling me stories. It's so cool that this is how you know the kids are listening. This is how you know that they're believing. This is how you know that they're taking it in. They actually want to be a part of it. And that's like so awesome. So like I want to leave that. And I mean, they're making me better. And like, I just want to show them like how to be. Whenever they grow up and get married and have kids, like we want to show them maybe tell them our mistakes. If we could, if we could go back, I would have done it this way.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like each generation does the best that they can with the knowledge that they take from their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like,
good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, because I've never fought my parents. They raised us. Like, I guarantee you, our parents raised us better than their parents raised them. And so it's kind of like it just goes up hard. Because I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like our kids do nothing that we did when we were their age. They don't even think about it.
No.
And not because we like forbid it. We just didn't raise them that way.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like my kids have it way better than I have. I'm thinking the other day, one time I got suspended from the fun club. It was like the after school YMCA program at the elementary school I went to. And I came home, and it was like December, and we grew up on a wood stove. I was like 8 or 9 years old, starting a fire in the wood stove by myself, and like, if my daughter ever thought about touching a lighter or a match, I'm like, what in the world? She'd burn the house
I mean,
down.
think about it. We were kids. We didn't have a babysitter. I got home, and the only rule was don't open the door for nobody and don't answer the phone.
Yeah,
that was the rule. Don't go outside.
I'm literally starting a fire in a wood stove. Like,
guess they warm though.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more questions. What would you tell somebody that's having a bad day today?
Close your eyes and pray.
Yeah.
And I mean, open and honestly, pray. I'm telling you, like, pray to God as if God is right there in front of you.
Conversation.
And I mean, I don't even care if you're talking out loud. I mean, there were days where I was in the apartment and I was just screaming because I was so anxious. So I'm like, I mean, and that was as easy as it sounds. For the longest time, that was hard to do because you have to believe. I feel like you have to believe because if you don't believe, you're not gonna talk to God. But I mean, I was just in my apartment one day and I just started talking out loud, and I mean, things started to change.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whenever even if you can make it a habit, when you wake up in the morning, I'll pray about. It could be something simple, it could be something crazy. Like, I'll just pray, hey man, I'm glad the kids are in good health. I'm glad they made it to school. Thank you, God, for waking me up.
Well, that's we talked about how awesome, how good the Bridge Church is. That's what the pastor talked about this past week. He started a new series on domino effect, and like one of the things was, the power of constant prayer, constant conversation, and the effect it can have going forward.
Because the more and more you do it,
Yeah.
Because the more and more you do it, it's almost so. I did tell some people, like, sometimes you might feel like a chore because it's new and it's kind of awkward for you. But it kind of gets to a point where sometimes you just do it and you don't even know you're doing it. You just be driving and just in the car praying out loud.
Just having a conversation.
Like my boy Tyler. My boy Tyler, that dude Tyler's probably like one of my biggest, because we went through a lot of stuff together, and we were having like Super Sundays where we go to church. Literally, we go from one church to another church to another church, and that's what we call them Super Sundays.
Mm.
We were going to. We drove by a Bible study. It was 4:30, and the Bible study started at 4:30. We were just pulling the parking lot.
See what kind of snacks they had.
And I mean, it was, it was intense. But looking back now, like that season of my life, that might have saved me as a person.
Yeah.
So I would tell anybody, like, negativity is gonna come, but you got to try your hardest to take whatever that negative thought is and flip it to anything positive.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool, my bed's on the floor, but my bed's on the floor in our house.
Yeah. The devil is really good at what he does, but he's really good at what he does because God's working. You know.
And I've heard David Goggins says your mind is really good at tricking you.
Oh yeah, because
it knows every weakness, everything that you don't want to do, and it knows exactly what to tell you not to go do it.
it's I don't have anything, and I don't think I really put it out there that I needed stuff, but people knew, and I mean, it got to the point where I had to turn people down. People were giving me so much stuff, and it was like overwhelming. But at the same time, it was like, man, God, thank you, because like I'm telling people, no, I got it. I already got that. No, I don't need that. I got that. It was crazy, but it's like that's why I said like a lot of things. God, I know God can't fix everything, and I think no, you know what I mean, Mac. I mean, there's certain things that we have to do. Like God's with us, but we have to put the work.
Absolutely, yes, that's 100% true.
All right. Last question. Do you have a favorite quote or Bible verse you want to share?
I got this quote tattooed on my arm years ago. Psalms 56:4. With God on my side, what can mere mortals do to me?
Ooh, yeah.
And it's on my arm. I mean, it's my favorite verse. I'll never forget it, and it's true. Like, with God on my side, what can earth do to me? I mean, it can do a lot of things, but I have to let it. I had to let it take over my mind. I have to let these things affect me. And so none of us are perfect. I try my hardest. And some days are good, some days are great, and some days are just like nobody call my phone, please. I can't take anybody's. Can't take it.
Yeah.
But that part of it has been so. It's been a whole lot less of like the negative things, the hate speech to yourself, and all that stuff has just gotten lesser and lesser because there's always something for me to look around and look at to be like, man, like, I mean, I never thought I'd make it to 30. And I was out there doing who knows what, drinking and driving, taking pills for fun. Like, I just thought for sure 30 is not going to be an age I'm going to make it to. Because, I mean, there were days I didn't remember how I got.
Now look at you. You're going to be 42 tomorrow. Happy birthday,
Happy
bro.
birthday, bro.
You did 70 minutes on a podcast?
Dude, I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you for making a change. I'm proud of you for wanting to change and move forward to make yourself better.
Of course you do. Change is always that. If that's the one consistent thing about
Life.
Only thing constant is change.
Change is going to happen, and you need to be prepared. And not all change is bad. Sometimes, I mean,
even when it feels bad at the time.
Well, I tell people, I mean, if things didn't happen to me in the last 8 years or so, I would still be that same dude that didn't know his faults, that didn't know when he was wrong, that always thought he was right, that let that guy I let fear dictate so much of not just my life, but the people's lives who were doing life with me.
Yeah.
like my fear, like fear doesn't just cripple you; it cripples everything around you.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you gotta fight that fear. You gotta whatever it is you gotta do to take that fear head on.
Let's fucking go, bro.
You gotta do it because fear will ruin your life, and fear, which will make you stress. Stress will literally kill you. I mean, in all my years of working, I never passed out at work. But when I did, I was anxious, I was stressed, I was stressed to the max. And my body was, I tell you all the time that either you can deal with your stuff or your body will make you deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
My body set me down for almost a month to make me deal with the stuff I didn't want to deal with. Because, so I tell people this is one thing I tell people. So, and there's one thing I had a lot of people tell me you can only control what you can control. There's so many things you can't control. So when I was going to the gym, I went every day, except for on the weekend. I went Monday through Friday because I could control everything at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it's something simple, that's why I tell people, I'm like, you gotta find a hobby, whatever. You gotta find something that you can control because even though it's simple, you feel like you're in control of something. So, and I also learned that when you're very anxious, build something or color in your kid's coloring book because I got an entertainment center, and what I learned was I was anxious while I was putting it together, but I was so focused on getting the entertainment center done, I figured out a way to deal with my anxiety when it came.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't crush me. I was just like, oh, that's stupid. I'm doing this, or like, well, that's not even gonna happen. I'm doing this. So I had picked up some hobbies, but I think the biggest thing is I think if you're going through anxiety and stuff, you got to find something that you can control because even if it's something little, you feel like you may not be in control of your life, but in this moment, like I can do this. This is going to be how I'm going to do it, and I have complete 100% control over this. But in a nutshell, that's what I tell people: deal with your stuff best you can. Seek therapy. I'm telling you, therapy. I know people don't like it, but I mean, over the years, I think here recently, I've told my friends, thanks for the free therapy.
Yeah.
And I tell them everything. And I mean, it's literally free therapy. But I would say, find a therapist, find one that you like. He'll save your life. Being able to get that stuff out of your head. I'll say this: I went on Emmaus Walk, and one thing we did, and we didn't know where we were going with this idea. We wrote everything that we feared, and everything that that we've been through on a piece of paper, and it could be as many things as you want. And then they took us outside, and we threw our papers into a fire because the whole point was like I've written everything down inside my head, and now I can't even pick it up if I wanted to. And like the premise of the thing was like crying
Yeah,
because like he's like
I've done that before.
because he's right. I can't even put these back together. They're ashes. And I was like, so for the people that don't like talking to people, man, journals